make homemade cinnamon rolls, which are awesome, yay. And they're really easy and quick. We have 4.5 cups of flour. We're gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 packets of yeast, 1 egg, I'm gonna go ahead and, hold on, let me mix this together. And then I'm going to add in 6 tablespoons of butter that I've already melted. And 1.5 cups of hot water. And that is hot enough that it will help the yeast, but it is not hot enough, like you can still touch it. Around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Just mix that together. Luckily, you already have that soapy water over there, so I can just wash my hands real quick. Okay. Turn this out. Now I'm going to knead this for about 6 to 8 minutes. I want it to get to the point where I can put a couple fingers down into it and it bounces back, so it'll take a little bit. Okay, we've been kneading now for about 9 minutes. At 8 minutes, it didn't give enough spring. So I'll give it another shot here. Okay, popped right back, so we like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cover it up and let it rest for 10 minutes. Okay, this has been resting now for 10 minutes. And what I'm gonna do is roll this out into a very large rectangle, and then we're gonna put butter and cinnamon and sugar on it. So we'll be back. Okay, we've rolled this out. You don't wanna make it too thin, or else you end up with a bunch of really tight swirls, which you might want, but we typically like it where it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, something like that. Now, I already had some cinnamon and sugar mixture, but I didn't have enough, or I didn't think I'd have enough. So what I do to make the consistency that I like is to put about 2/3 of the white sugar and then 1/3 cinnamon. So I've already put that on top of what I had before, and just shake it up. We're gonna go ahead and paint this with butter so that the cinnamon and sugar will adhere to that. And I just kind of like to slop it on there because it makes it a lot easier for me. This is 3 tablespoons of butter that I melted, and I just spread that around. Little messy. Trying to go a little bit too fast. Okay. Now we take our premix that we made and begin to just sprinkle it on. And I do it pretty heavily because I like a lot of cinnamon and sugar. So this is all by the way it looks for me. It'll begin to melt down into the butter. So you'll see it change color. And I go the opposite way so we get a good coverage. Okay, so at this point, you could just roll it up and you'd have just the basic cinnamon roll. My husband likes raisins, so we're gonna put raisins in now. So I will go get those and put those on there. Okay, these, we put just regular raisins on this, and actually if you get raisins that are going a little bit stale or starting to get hard, you can put them on these cinnamon rolls and they will soften up, so no problem with that. Okay, we've got this all covered with the raisins, and now we're going to start rolling it. Just pick an end and try to catch those raisins without pushing them too much so that they end up in the spirals. And a little bit of the raisins and cinnamon's gonna fall out the ends, but you can just tuck that later, put the raisins back on the tops, so don't worry about that too much. Now I like to try and seal this just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I push my ends a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't want to seal. It's fine. When we put it in the pan, they'll be held together then. And then I just ballpark these. It's not like they have to be perfect-ish, that size. I put Pam spray in this pan already so that they don't stick. We're gonna have these in here and let them rise. For an hour. And see how that one didn't tuck before? So you can just push it against the side or against another one. That's why it doesn't really matter. There they are. Okay, we're gonna cover these up and let them rest for 1 hour. It has been an hour and these have been able to rise. We're going to now put them in the oven. I've preheated it to 350 degrees and we'll cook these for about 25-30 minutes until the tops are golden brown. The next thing we're going to do is to make the frosting. This is 2.5 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of butter that I've already melted in the microwave, and 3 tablespoons of milk. And then we just mix this together. It looks super dry, but it does come together eventually. This is gonna end up being our topping after the cinnamon rolls have baked and had a chance to cool down a bit. If you put them on too soon, then it just melts everywhere. You can see how that comes together. And that's it. Okay, we're gonna check the cinnamon rolls. They should be done. It's been just over 25 minutes, about 27 minutes. Looks pretty good. You just want the golden brown on the top. And I'm going to use a knife because they all end up growing together to separate these. And then I'm going to put them over on the cooling rack. Okay, we got these all trimmed out. Put these over here to cool. Looks like I'll have to grab another rack. This is a little bit large. Ooh, yummy. It smells so good. Okay, I grabbed one for me. It's still a little warm, but we're gonna do it anyways. Because I can't wait. It smells so good. You can smell the cinnamon and the raisins. It smells so good. And then the vanilla and the frosting. Yum. Let's just cut this open. Take a look. Oh, yeah. You can see the cinnamon and sugar all melted in there. Oh, the Primo one. Oh, that's hot. Ooh. All right, I'll do an edge piece because that one's a little bit hot. I'll give that one to Patrick in a minute. God, this is so good. For me, okay. For a long time, it'll be kneading for 8 minutes.
Do you have to adjust your altitude at all?
I know. For about...
Start right now.
Start again.